Cakes with a cute or recognizable character are really popular, but it's difficult to replicate all of those tiny details onto a cake. Here's where buttercream transfers come in. The first step is to frost your cake. It's best to start here because the frosting needs to set before you transfer your design. So after you frost the cake, it needs to sit in the fridge for at least an hour while you prepare your design. Time for the fun part, the character. Print out an image, making sure it will fit within the height of your cake. And tape it onto a flat surface like a tray or cutting board, something you can move around easily later. Now put a piece of parchment paper on top, or wax paper or baking paper, lining it up so that the bottom edge is at the bottom of the design, which makes the transfer onto the cake the easiest. Mix all of the colours you need for your design and put them in piping bags or Ziploc bags. You only need a tiny bit of each colour. Cut a little piece off a corner of each Ziploc bag, or piping bags if that's what you're using, or you can use a small round piping tip, like a number 2 or a number 3. Use one colour at a time, starting with the smallest details. Squeeze the buttercream out to outline a section and then fill it in, and you can use a toothpick to spread the piping around, pushing it downwards, because you want the buttercream to be pressed flat against the parchment paper, which is the side of the design that's going to be visible. The side you see here is going to be pressed against the cake, so this texture on the buttercream is fine, because you won't see it anyway. To pipe one colour right next to another colour, you should chill the design first by putting the tray in the freezer for 5 minutes. That sets the first colours, so when you pipe beside them, the new colour won't distort the first colour. It's going to look messy as you're piping, but don't worry because like I mentioned, this side is going to be hidden, and it's the other side that will be facing out. I like using Ziploc bags for this because I don't have 7 small round piping tips, which is the number of colours I'm using for this design, but I do have 7 Ziploc bags. Save the colours after you finish piping because you will need them later. Do all of the small sections first, leaving the biggest section until the very end. For me, that's the green face and body of the dinosaur. When you've done everything else, put the design back in the freezer for another 5 minutes to chill everything, and then outline and fill the shape with the final colour. And it's fine to pipe over the other colour details because they're cold so they'll hold their shape. And remember, no one will see this side of the design. Use an offset spatula to spread this final colour, pushing it down against the parchment to push out any air pockets. And also, by flattening and smoothing this side of the design, you'll create a level surface, which will attach best to the cake in a minute. As soon as you finish the design, peel the tape off, and now it's time to transfer the design to the cake. Take your cake out of the fridge, and your frosting should be cold and firm. Lift your character up on the parchment paper and line it up against the cake. Ah, look how cute this little dinosaur is. Press it against the cake, pushing gently against the parchment paper all over the design to stick it to the frosted cake. Don't remove the parchment yet. Put the cake back in the fridge for an hour or in the freezer for 15 minutes to set the character on the cake, and then peel the parchment off to reveal your character. We still need to do some touch-ups, so don't be put off by the air pockets in the design. Use the leftover buttercream from piping your design to cover up any air pockets, doing one colour at a time and then scraping off the excess with an offset spatula to smooth it. Since the character has been chilled, it's okay if you pipe or spread this touch-up buttercream over the other colours of the design, because you can scrape it off without damaging the rest of the design, since it's cold and firm and will hold its shape. Tracing the character keeps everything in proportion, and it's much easier than piping a design straight onto the side of a cake. And it creates a perfectly flat design. Check out my online cake school for my free course on 10 frosting techniques and lots of courses on hundreds of cake designs and techniques. Thank you for watching.